Alright guys, so this is just a quick video of this rundown apartment. I mean, not apartment. It probably used to be apartments, I don't know, but it's hotels now. No, they look like they're hotels. But the dude that was in there, I saw his face now. I heard him coming out the door. He in that car right there. He's parked next to me. I'm not going outside right now just yet because I'm not fully dressed. I was getting dressed and I had some crazy experiences, but all I know is that he just left out of the room next door to me where those people. So I'm just gonna get it. I came out here anyways. He don't have a plate at the front, but that's the dude right there. He parked next to me, of course. Some other Caucasian looking dude. Let me get that sign on the side of the car so I can remember if I see this car in the future. Now it looked kind of like and so this door is the people who live here, and he came from there and went downstairs. So he must be the person that was banging on the door. Some idiotic youngster. He don't look like a kid. I just call him a kid because that's how he was acting. But he had like curly hair at the top, and his hair was shaved on the sides. It was like kind of poofy. He looked like a moron jerk. He couldn't even look back up here. But as soon as I started praying, the booming stopped. And you see how rundown this place do not look nothing. And this is the Banfield Suites on Sandy Boulevard, right next to that little turn you take when you trying to go towards like 92nd Avenue. I think the Powell area. But yeah, I want to get that sign. So if I see that little small, short, stubby car again, I know who the freak they are. That ever since, and then now when I told them I want to get out of here and switch to another hotel, because we might not even need a hotel tomorrow. We just had it for tonight, which they've saved it for 7 days, but they said we can stay here for 7 days. There his punk ass go. Now he want to leave. I've got that car though, NVHZ or something like that. At the back, it's the last 3 of his license plate. That's all I need to know. NHZ. And then, of course, he wanted to leave when I went back inside because his punk bitch ass probably the one who was banging on the wall right here. And I was like, I don't see a hotel room next to me. But then I looked and saw around the corner. It's a whole bigger room. It's a whole bigger room right here. And at first I was gonna go kick their door because I was like, what are you doing? So they're 221, right? And they obviously live there because look at how it's fixed up. And they put me specifically in 220. When I fucking woke up, it was like 6 o'clock, I think, after I stayed up all night cleaning, and then some random weird alien looking bugs popped out of nowhere from under that lampshade. And I had the little Fabuloso in the water that's in there. And I think it came out from underneath that lampshade there. I was like so ghetto. So I was like, okay, well at least it's like not carpet where I have to vacuum. I can sweep. So what I did, I used this tiny little hand broom right here, and I literally swept the floor. Don't ask me how I did it. It took a little bit, but I just stood. I was bent back. I wasn't bent back. I was bent down. Just going, I know that's ghetto. And then I used something, a lady, Miss Lulu, when we went to the Matt Dishman Center one time to go take a shower, she gave us these old scrub pants. She said she was a nurse, and she gave us old scrub pants. And because I have that ASS, I couldn't fit the pants only because of my butt and just a tad bit around my butt area where the thighs area. That's it. But other than that, I would have been able to fit the pants, but I can't because I got hips, and so I put them to other use. I used them to clean. So what I did was spray the floor with the Fabuloso, slightly, what do you call it when you add water to it? I forgot the word. It started since it's concentrated to make it not too concentrated. I forgot the word right now. It's barely coming to me. But yeah, so I was asleep and I woke up. So based on the time I looked at the phone when I finally found an adapter to charge my phone, because I was in the car for most of the day, so I was only using the not the CD player, but the radio thing, the stereo. So Next thing you know, I wake up an hour later. It may have been like 45 minutes later, 30 minutes later. I start hearing this bumping. So I'm like, who wake up in the morning and say, I'm finna F with this B? It's time for me to F with this B. So I asked my angel answer cards, are they gang stalkers? Because I realized they put me in a room. First, the lady was rude to me when I came in to check in last night. And then they put me in a room right next to them so they can bang on the wall and antagonize me. Who does that? At the Banfield Suites on Sandy Boulevard in Portland, Oregon. Don't come to this with these raggedy behind NIGGGER Indians who are disrespectful for no reason. They was rude, and I'll get to that in a moment. But the thing is, I was like, I'm waking up. It sounded like they were holding something in their hand and going boom, 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 and they did it 3 times. I said, oh, well, is it trust law? I was being sarcastic or facetious when I said that. I was like, okay, trust law? Because, when they say you do trust law, you do 3 knocks in the courtroom or something like that. Anyways, or the court door or whatever, I forgot, before you cross the bench or something like that. But, not cross the bench, you guys know what I'm talking about. When you step into their maritime stuff. Well, for those of you who know what I'm talking about that courtroom stuff, that's that contract law stuff. We don't need to get into that right now. But so I was just being facetious saying that, but then they kept doing it, and then they stopped as soon as I started praying, because I said, you know what, I think they're trying to antagonize me, because first it was at a steady decibel of sound, and it was not as loud. It was pretty loud, but not as loud as it could have been. And then when they saw I wasn't caring about it and not doing nothing about it, then they started saying boom, boom, boom. And then when I said the trust law thing, then they only did 2 knocks instead of 3. So it probably was that idiotic kid that left. He might be 20-something. I call him a kid because I'm older than he is. And he was acting immature. And I almost got the picture and took a picture of him, but I just left that alone. But then I want to get that car, so if I ever see him anywhere, I know what's going on. I know what's up. And the punk BIT, you know what? The Indian lady, the short, stubby lady, that's probably 4 feet tall, if that. But she was rude to me. As soon as she saw me walk in, and I got clarification, I was like, it came to me this morning because I didn't understand it. But I was like, was she rude to me just because she saw me as kind of beautiful, so she wanted to be rude to me? I got a quick yes with an exclamation point. Because sometimes people think you're beautiful than you think you are, and then they want to just be rude to you. I know that sounds so dumb and so stupid, but it happened before. So I guess that's what Andrea Hood of Central City Concern in Portland, Oregon did that time when she was being all nice to me on the phone. I was waiting to move in. Then next thing you know, okay, that lady, see, she's a really sweet woman, the one that just texted me now. But the lady Andrea Hood, when I was staying at the Hill Park Apartments in downtown Portland, across the street from the 7-Eleven, if they still got it there, off Sheridan Street. Like, you go down Sheridan and I think it turns into First and Arthur Street. And that's where I used to live back in 2017. And now, next thing you know, as soon as I show up, it's like her smile and all her countenance drops as soon as she sees me. And then from that day forward, she was an a-hole to me. And I had videos of how they were gang stalking me back then in 2017, where I had a Mercedes that I was driving, but it was one of those car-to-go Mercedes, and I parked it in a spot. Then they brought some construction truck thing. I don't know if it wasn't, I think it was a tractor, and they had it sitting up, and they parked it right in the spot that I would park in, because they only had like 5 parking spots in that small little parking lot to the apartment complex. And I had all kind of videos and stuff about how she was treating me, and how the dude that was in the wheelchair, the power chair, was dealing drugs in the corner of the lot. But that was a clean and sober lot though. I believe I was drinking alcohol, but not there, not at the house. Like, I went out to drink. And I wasn't on no clean and sober stuff. They didn't say that I had to be a clean and sober. And I'm mentioning that because James at the Miracles Club was like, well, were you drinking alcohol at that time? So maybe that's why. I can't stand those type of dudes. They just say just because of something happened. Just because, I'll talk about that some other time. I don't want to waste time talking about that, but he think that he know maybe I was an alcoholic and I wasn't staying on top of things. But the woman evicted me from that apartment because the money, I showed her that the $400 something was in my savings, and I only had 300 and something in the, in my checking at that time, and that I couldn't access the money because I had one of those rapid pay cards, and they said you can only switch your money in your account, in your savings account, every so often, otherwise you'll be charged a fee, or I think they lock it and you have to call them to take the money out. And I was new to that card at the time in 2017, like to that type of stuff with it. So I showed her that I had the money, and I asked her if she could just wait one more day, just one more day. But she didn't. She wanted to be an asshole so bad that she went and started. I said, fine, do whatever you want to do. Go ahead and start the eviction. Until this day, that eviction has never counted against me getting any place. And I thank God for that. But I mentioned it to them, to Miracles Club, because they asked me if I ever been evicted. I said no at first because I forgot about that at the moment. But then I remembered there was a false eviction from Andrea Hood of Central City Concern. I met a guy who was a crackhead who worked for Central City Concern, so they probably hire anybody. His name was Anthony Johnson, and that's the dude that left me hanging outside for damn near 2 hours saying he was coming to pick me up. But because he was mad that I wouldn't smoke crack with him, he left me out there in the cold, and it was raining. And I was like, you know what, screw you, dude. Then he wanted to meet me at the park last week, trying to act like he cool with me. He said, man, look at you, because he saw me in a car now, and I already had a car then. I was paying for it, but my ex-boyfriend had it still at his Mexican friend's shop, and his Mexican friend wasn't really a friend to him. They were doing him all kind of ways, and he just settled for it, but he took it out on us females. And like they did him all kind of dirty to the point it wound up affecting me because I was buying the car from him. Anyways, that's a long story. But yeah, I was showing how I asked the woman, can she switch us to a different hotel? I told her what happened, how the woman here at Banfield Suites hotel or motel, whatever, I think it's hotel. Studios it is. Banfield Studios, not Suites, Studios. Banfield Studios in Portland, Oregon. She was rude. She was trying to force me to sign something. I was like, well, ma'am, can I at least read through what I won't take a long time. And I was asking, she was trying to hide the paper and roll it up and say, sign here, sign here. No. And I was like, well, can I at least skim read? You're not even going to let me skim read what I'm signing? And she was like, no, it's very personal to us. And then later on, I started cursing her out to myself in this room, saying, well, BITCH, if it's very personal to you, why am I signing it? Obviously, if I'm signing it, it's personal to me too. Because I asked her, can I at least have a copy? She said no. So if you have me signing something, that's why I told the woman who paid for the room if she could please switch us to another room, because she paid for it for 1 week because we might be moving in our apartment today, but she wanted to make sure that we had somewhere to be just in case they extended it to the actual move-in date, which was the 4th. But they said sometimes with these companies, they make it be a date. It could sometimes be a little later than the actual move-in date that they were saying. So she wanted to help us out and say, we'll do it for 7 days and we'll do it for 2 weeks if you need it. So I was thankful to her for that. And some other things that's kind of her that she's doing to help out. Dealing with some people called to safety. I just want to mention that. So if anybody in Portland